You have to say, well, why did it succeed where others did not? Constantly seek criticism. A well-thought-out critique of whatever you're doing is as valuable as gold. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness, to make sure it continues into the future. There are easier places to work, but nobody ever changed the world on 40 hours a week. You must be willing to lose it all, but be willing to keep going into the future. When I was in college, I wanted to be involved in things that would change the world. And now I am. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. What makes innovative thinking happen? I think it's really a mindset. You have to decide. You should take the approach that you're wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. It is very important to have a feedback loop where you are constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. We're going to make it happen. As God is my bloody witness, I'm hell-bent on making it work. Good ideas are always crazy until they are not. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. If you need inspiring words, don't do it. If the rules are such that you can't make progress, then you have to fight the rules. Don't confuse schooling with education. I didn't go to Harvard, but the people that work for me did. I've actually not read any books on time management. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. Take risks now and do something bold. You won't regret it. If you're going to create a company, the first thing you should do is create a working prototype. If we hadn't responded to what people said, we probably wouldn't have been as successful. There need to be reasons to get up in the morning. Life can't just be about solving problems, otherwise, what's the point? When Henry Ford made cheap, reliable cars, people said, "Nah, what's wrong with a horse?" That was a huge bet he made, and it worked. There are times when, if something is important enough, if you believe it enough, you do it in spite of fear. My biggest mistake is probably weighing too much on someone's talent and not someone's personality. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. I don't spend my time pontificating about high-concept things. I spend my time solving engineering and manufacturing problems. If something is important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. I take the position that I'm always, to some degree, wrong, and the aspiration is to be less wrong. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or really incapacitated. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. You want to be extra rigorous about making the best possible thing you can. Find everything that's wrong with it and fix it. Seek negative feedback, particularly from friends. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Work hard, like every waking hour. That's the thing, I would say, if you are particularly starting a company. Your will is the most accurate way to predict the future. Any product that needs a manual to work is broken. I think most of the important stuff on the internet has been built. There will be continued innovation, for sure, but the great problems of the internet have essentially been solved. Things are going to grow exponentially, so there's a big difference between 5 and 10 years. I'm not trying to be anyone's savior. I'm just trying to think about the future and not be sad. Let's just skip original video games and movies and go straight to the sequel. Starting a business is not for everyone. Starting a business, I'd say, number one is have a high pain threshold. I always have optimism, but I'm realistic. It was not with the expectation of great success that I started Tesla or SpaceX. It's just that I thought they were important enough to do anyway. I always invest my own money in the companies that I create. As much as possible, avoid hiring MBAs. MBA programs don't teach people how to create companies. You get paid in the direct proportion to the difficulty of problems you solve.